What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another game review here on the J Christ channel. Today we're going to be talking about Spectre Divide. Of course, as usual, I got gameplay playing behind me. Ended up having a really good game. Went 22-3. We swept 8-0 in this game. Although the gameplay's so-so, because if you know anything about me, you know that I am a controller player and I don't know how to play mouse and keyboard. So whether it's this or some other games that have been mouse and keyboard only that I've tried, it is a learning curve for sure for me to try to pick up mouse and keyboard. And this was kind of a body team we played, but whatever. Before we get into that, if you want to see me try out any betas and alphas, or you like Warzone, Apex, you're into gaming, variety streamers, Twitch is linked down below, as well as all my other socials. If you want to check me out anywhere else, please feel free to do so. But if not, at least while you're here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell down below, and let me know down in the comments below what you think of Spectre Divide, or if you want to call me a bot or whatever. Just let me know what you think down in the comments below about whatever related to Spectre Divide or my gameplay. As usual, we're going to go through my cons list, my so-so list, and my pro list, although to be honest with you, this game was amazing, and I kind of just had to think of things to say bad about this game, because I really didn't have anything bad to say about this game. This is, if you don't know, in the CSGO, Valorant, like Frag Punk, One Life, S&D type genre. The uniqueness here is that you have the normalness of like buy phases, you have the bomb to plant, you have rounds, but here it's 3v3, but you control two bodies. So in a way, it's like 6v6, but it's three players. And you can have the bodies both anywhere on the map and just switch back and forth with them. They each have their own unique primary, and then they have a secondary, and then you have your equipment that you get through your sponsors, and you unlock those as you level up. So the real uniqueness here, and which I thought was really fun, was having two bodies. And when you are in one body, if there's footsteps or shooting going on right next to the other, you'll get little warnings that say like Spectre warning or Spectre danger, and then you can switch to the body and go take that fight, so long as you're not fighting with the body you're currently controlling. So I thought that was really unique, and there's good customization for what your characters look like, and you get to customize both your main body and your Spectre body, so I thought that was all really great. I thought this game was a blast, especially for someone that doesn't play in this genre, and my first real exposure to this genre, other than like search and destroy modes within other games, was playing Frag Punk a few months ago, and I'll link that review down below. They actually have another beta coming up as well, so that's exciting. But going into cons, my so-so, my pro list, of course, as usual, we'll start with cons and work into more positive things, so we finish this on a good note. The cons, I put, there was no bot mode. They had like a training mode. And this is just me trying to make up stuff, but like nothing to practice against bots. There's one bot in the training mode, and of course you can do the tutorial, which has bots in it, but there's not a lot of practice. But that's not a real con. Like I said, I kind of make stuff up. And then that there's no sprint was another con, and these are just made up cons because nobody's using a full out sprint in a game where you have one life, everyone's sound whores. So it's not really a big deal, but if you had to have a negative, I guess there's no bots to practice against and no sprint. The con list is pretty much non-existent for this game. So, I mean, I played about 4.5 hours, so not a whole lot of exposure, but enough to get an idea of what I think of the game. Moving on to the so-sos, this is another one that I kind of had to made up because I really, as you see on my thumbnail, I say a like near perfect game or something like that. The so-sos, I just put no controller, knowing that like Shroud was involved and some serious games are involved that play on mouse and keyboard. That's not that surprising, and like CSGO doesn't do controller support. Valorant, I think, has weak controller support on PC, and then of course now that it's on console, it's got controller support for console, but I don't think like the aim assist and stuff is really there. It's not speaking from experience, just from people I talk to. There's not real aim assist on it. So yeah, no controller, I guess, just because you could exclude players that aren't mouse and keyboard players. I mean, if you play this game, you're on PC because it's not coming to console, and that means you do have a mouse and keyboard, and you could learn. So that's why it's kind of a so-so, because you are keeping away part of a potential player base, but this game's not made for controllers, so it's just kind of a so-so. What I really want to talk about is the pros of this game. Like I said, there's not really any cons or so-sos. I mean, this is like a near perfect game. I had a blast. It felt really smooth. It felt optimized. The game felt great. The game was fun, and the game is unique, which is my first pro. That is a very unique idea. This game is is in a genre that has existed for a long time and quite popular, and so it's hard to make yourself stand out. And I think being able to split between your body and your Spectre body was a very unique idea and a great way to stand out, and it creates a whole new skill ceiling or floor, however you want to have that perspective, where there is skill into where you place your Spectre and how you use your two bodies, because there's some places that are within bounds of the map that you can only get to by throwing your Spectre device up there, and then your Spectre body transports up there, and then you can get up there, but you couldn't like mantle up there normally. The next big the next big pro that I have is the weapon stats on the buy stage are very detailed. When you hover over weapons to buy, it shows you how much damage it does to the head, the chest, the limbs. Like, it shows you detailed stats for the amount of damage it does, as well as other important stats like handling, recoil, like typical FPS stats, but it shows detailed damage stats, which I think is huge because it can really help you decide what weapons to buy in between rounds. And I think it's something that more games should have. You know, we have Call of Duty gives us some weapon stats, but it doesn't give us damage stats. I think Delta Force does, but it's not something that's in a lot of games, and I think it's something that should be, especially a game like this where you don't get to just build a loadout and grab it like in Warzone or in Call of Duty multiplayer. You have to buy each round, and, you know, maybe something does a lot of headshot damage and you're really good at hitting headshots, and you know that just within game. The next pro that I have is the graphic and the graphics and the art style. I thought were gorgeous, looked really good, not completely unique. I mean, we've had cell shaded graphics and stuff, but the way that the operators look in the environment, or the specters or whatever you want to call them, the characters in the game clearly stand out. The colorful palette is playful, it's pleasant, it's a nice environment to play in. I was really a fan of the graphic art style, and now this is definitely more of an opinion based, but I thought it was beautiful. I had people in my chat talking about how beautiful the game looks. So definitely a good graphic art style that I think appeals to a lot. Another thing that I thought was really good, and these aren't in any particular order other than just when I wrote them down, was audio. I thought the footstep audio was amazing. I did think that the teammate footstep audio was a little bit louder than I would like and a little bit hard to tell, but I would take that over the non-existent enemy footstep audio that we experience in Call of Duty, we experience in Apex Legends, I've been experiencing in Splitgate, which that review's to come. So once again, notification bell, subscribe if you like that type of content. And it's very frustrating in games that you have multiple lives to not hear footstep audio, let alone single life games like Spectre Divide and other S&D type modes where you only have one life. Having good footstep audio is very important, and also honestly, like, the guns sound good and just the whole environmental audio, it all sounded really good. But the big thing to hark on is the good footstep audio, which is very strong. Next, I have the economy system. I thought the money was fair, even in games where the game that I almost used for my background, we actually were down 7-1 and ended up coming back and winning 10-8. Even though we were losing round after round, that was my first game on, I don't want to play M&K, I was able to buy good guns every round, so I was never at a disadvantage from that. Of course, you can buy more armor and more equipment and the top tier guns if you win rounds and get kills and all that. But even when you're struggling, and I think at one point I was like 3-22 that game, I finished like 11-30 because I just, you know, mouse and keyboard, new game, whatever. I was still always able to buy weapons that gave me a chance beyond my skill set. Another thing is the tutorial, which I mentioned, and the training area, which I mentioned. I did wish that there was bots that you could practice a little more against, but it gives you places where you have to use your Spectre card to get to. There is a bot to shoot, so you can play with damage, recoil, all that. They had a shooting range where you could change between big circle targets, human-shaped targets, small targets. Then they had another one that was like a big grid, and you could change the size of the boxes, and when you shoot one of the lit up boxes, it would randomly switch to another one, so you could practice snapping. And there was a lot of ways to be able to practice. You could switch to whatever guns you wanted whenever, and there was a lot of different things that you could do. I wish there was a small arena to kind of fight against bots, but that was more because of my inexperience on mouse and keyboard, and with this being a new game. As long as you have some training area and some tutorial, which you can go through the tutorial on an unlimited amount of times within the training area, you can start the tutorial and work on your gameplay and practice and get familiar with the mechanics of the game. So, you know, if you watch any of my game reviews, I always harp on whether or not there's a tutorial, whether or not there's a shooting range / training area, and how good they are and how detailed they are. And I think it's important, especially in new IPs. It's less important something like Call of Duty that's been around for like 20 years now. But new games definitely need tutorials and training areas / shooting ranges. And this training area was extensive in the amount of ways that you could practice skills. And I thought that was really good. And finally, this one's a less strong pro. The reload speed in this game, I think, is very well balanced. LMGs didn't feel like, oh my god, I'm going to get killed this round because I got to reload this LMG. The LMGs felt very close, if not the same, to like the AR reloads. I didn't really use SMGs. I was really just playing AR and LMG just because that was one of the classes that came together and I was having a lot of success with. And it's actually what I'm using in the background video here. But I thought the reload speed was really good. You know, this game obviously isn't going for realism because you can switch between bodies. So there's no reason to make the LMGs reload a lot slower, especially with a fairly quick time to kill, which I didn't think was too fast. I've thought in other games that it's too fast. This one I thought felt pretty good, especially because you can get away fairly quickly if you know how to use cover and break lines of sight. But the reload speed on LMGs not being horribly slow like it is in so many games like Call of Duty was a nice change of pace from so many FPSs I played. So, you know, just to sum things up again, no real cons, no real so-sos, a lot of pros. I think this game is awesome. And although I'm not someone who has ever really watched Shroud, I have a huge respect for his place and his influence in the FPS and gaming scene as a whole. You can tell him and people like him were involved in this game because it's a lot of what people ask out of other games while also having its own unique identity. I mean, no game is perfect, so I can't give a game a 10 out of 10, but this is about as close as you can get. 9.9 out of 10. This might be a game that converts me into at least learning MNK and being able to play on both inputs. I definitely plan to play this full game when it comes out. We're actually getting a release date next week, so probably within less than a week of this video being uploaded, so that's super exciting. I think this will be in my rotation of games. I don't say that about too many alphas and betas I've reviewed and too many games I played, but with Warzone really being at a low point for me, and Apex is actually really good this season, but it's been real up and down lately, and just missing non-BR games, I think this is a game that could see its way into at least a somewhat regular rotation, and this is coming from someone who is not in love with this genre, is not a mouse and keyboard player, but it makes me want to explore the genre. It makes me want to explore mouse and keyboard, and it's just a fun game that I would recommend anyone on PC to try, even if you're uncomfortable on M&K. I think you'll get the hang of it, and you don't need to be super crazy correct with like movement and stuff like you would in like Warzone and Apex on M&K, and I think it's a good way to learn that. But all in all, try out Spectre Divide for yourself when it comes out if you are able to. It is something that I think anybody who's into FPSs should try. Well done to, I can't remember the dev studio off the top of my head now, but well done to the studios involved, well done to Shroud, and anyone else had any influence on this game. It is an amazing game, and I definitely think you should try it. I've said it a million times, and I can't say it enough. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck through all the way to the end. The rest of this gameplay has a few minutes left. It's going to go ahead and play out in the background. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the game, the gameplay, whatever. And don't forget to check out the links in the description for my Twitch and all my socials. But I will see you in the next review. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye. This is going well.
Wait,
What?
what?
Huh?
Hello.
Yo, I like how when you go to the buy screen, it shows the damage for each body part and the drop off.
Oh, yeah.
That's super cool. I wish Warzone did stuff like that.
That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I know. Especially out of a company that was a multi-billion-dollar company bought by another multi-billion-dollar company. I'm sure they don't have the resources.
Sure. Sure they don't.
Oh! Yoink. Oh, he got me! Avenge me, Ricky.
Hold on.
Haha, smoke out! Dead zone, up!
Yoink.
Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Oh,
Priming the Zeus.
Yeah, I like the way you think.
Zeus has been planted. Dead zone, going out. Dropping smoke. Meltdown is here.
Dead zone. Active main
No, I got the head. Got him.
What?
Okay.
Nice.
I only got 1 kill that round, but I'll take it.
Match point. Halftime side switch.
I had so much money. I had good guns that I didn't have to keep buying because we kept winning. Not dying. All right, we can't let them win this round. We got to 8-0 them.
I feel like they're A. Take back what I said.
And they actually bought real guns first round. I give them props for still trying. But buying real guns rounds kind of wild.
They're all towards A.
I might just wipe the whole team. I might not get there in time at all for fighting.
Zeus is down.
Oh, I had to reload.
Oh, that's the worst.
Knifed him.
Defenders have won.
Let's
the
go. Let's go. 22-3. And I had more damage than their top 2 combined. Let's fucking go, baby. What a game to end on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, chat.